Christmas. It's the best time of the year.
Hey guys, it's author Gabriella here, and seeing as we are in the holiday season, I decided that I would draw some of my characters from my newest book series, Asphariens, Guardians of Elements, but with more of a Christmas holiday theme. Now, I am aware that this is posted a little bit later than Christmas, but we're still technically in the holiday season week, so I thought it would still be acceptable. Alright, so let's get to it. The first characters, or I guess to start off, the three characters that I'll be drawing in this video is Raelle, the protagonist of my book series Asphariens, and her two closest friends, Kiera and Aki. If you haven't seen my drawing the characters from my book series Asphariens, then you should definitely go check that out just to get more of a feel on these characters' personalities. So starting with Raelle, after I did a quick sketch of how Kiera was going to look like, because I accidentally lost the footage for Raelle's part, but that's alright. I'm coloring in her skin, adding a bit of shadows. Like you can see over here, I'm kind of starting it off, but I didn't really like the way it looked, so I kind of brushed it off. And you're going to see later how I fixed it. I had a little bit more red, a duller base color to her eyes. I wanted Raelle to kind of have for her Christmas look, to have those reindeer ear headbands. I kind of have them in real life too. If you've checked me out on Instagram or Facebook, I recently did a Christmas photo shoot with those. So yeah, I wanted to draw those on her head instead of a Christmas hat, which I will be saving for the two other characters later. As you can see here, I'm darkening the shadows, adding a little bit more blush.
Have a couple of cheers. Have a holly jolly Christmas. And when you walk down the street, say hello to friends you know and everyone you meet.
Now over here, I'm moving on to coloring in her antlers. Before I accidentally had one of the brushes on addition, which essentially makes it kind of see-through, so that when you add it on a darker surface, it looks more light, like there's an illusion of light that's created. That was the wrong version I wanted, so I switched it back to normal, and as you can see, it's kind of this very dark brown. It appears almost black on screen, but later on you'll see that it's going to be brown. And I did also realize that one of the antlers looked a little bit weird. So I went in a little bit later and fixed it by adding a third little spike. I don't really know how to pronounce it properly, but yeah. So I'm coloring that in, and then soon I'm also going to be working on the headband. As you can see, I'm kind of finding the perfect color for it. It looks a little bit more on the burgundy side, but it does get a little bit more of that red nuance later when I add in some more shading. And I thought it would be a cute idea to add in a little bell attached to the antler. And now I'm coloring in the blue parts on her hair. I'm using this special brush I found, which makes kind of hair strokes, but also makes it with a few modifications. So as you can see, some spots it turns a little bit more heavier. And now moving on to Kiera, I'm kind of speed running this part because it was pretty long to find. It took me quite some time to find a nice color that would complement her skin. So as you can see, I added in the shading, added a bit of some base blush, and now I'm coloring in her eyes, which is a dark brown, but when she does activate her elemental power, which is earth, they turn, or they glow this light green, which you'll be seeing me add. As you can see over here, I'm starting to add the highlights, adding in a bit of green. I didn't want it to be the main focus, as this is just a holiday special piece. You guys can check out the full drawn version on my Instagram and Facebook. But of course, at the end, I'm also going to show you all the final result. So now we're adding more of the green highlights in her right eye, or from her side, I guess left, but from my side, it's the right eye. I'm also going to be adding this illuminated green on her eyelashes too, because I thought it would really bring out her skin more, and it just looks really cool. Keep in mind though that her eyes are only glowing this shade of green when she's using her elemental earth powers, so when she's not, they're just plain brown. But since I also wanted to highlight the whole elemental power qualities of Asphariens, I decided to add that. I'm also adding a bit of highlights on her nose. This isn't 100% the finished product. I'm adding a bit more shading to her Santa hat or Christmas hat. What do you guys really call those, by the way? Because I say Santa hat, but I feel like maybe you could also just call it Christmas hat. Anyway, I'm adding in those details, and now we're moving on to the final character in this trio, and his name is Aki. And as you can see, he's a little bit more highlighted than the rest. So I'm adding this strange purple muted shaded color. Ended up looking so weird. So later on, I fixed it for a little bit more of this warm cherry pink-ish tone. You're going to see me fix it. It's just right now it's kind of bothering me. Anyway, so I added in the shadows. I added in a little bit of this blush. And I wanted to accentuate that he kind of looked a little bit cold because in the book series, Aki has the elemental power of ice. You guys can watch one of my other videos to learn more about Aki's character and his personality, specifically the drawing characters from Asphariens series. Or you could also order a copy of Asphariens at any major online bookstore like Indigo, Barnes & Nobles, Amazon, etc. So as you can see, I added more warmer tones. And the thing that's in his mouth is actually a piece of a candy cane. I'm going to cover that in red and white so it doesn't look like something else. His eyes are emerald green, but when he uses his elemental power, it glows this faint blue. So like I did for Kira, I decided to add that, implement that on his eye too. And since his other eye is just closed, and he's winking, all I have to do is just color in the lashes color. And ta-da, here are the final results of the 3 drawings I did, Rael, Kira, and Aki, the main trio in my newest book series, Asphariens, Guardians of the Elements. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of this wonderful holiday season.